Welcome to this amazing podcast where Benjamin Young,
And me, Tyler Naffield.
this podcast is called Pondering, and the title of this podcast is, I got it. I just said it
You
earlier.
literally just said it before we started.
Um, it's, Do we miss our childhoods? And, the only reason why I don't remember that is because we had a jarring couple minutes
We had a
before.
jarring come. It was jarring. If you want to know what that
So
is, you can subscribe to our
Patreon,
Patreon.
our subscriber only Patreon, where it's do like $2
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
month. You can
You'll
watch
get access to videos that we don't put out on
our
here.
exclusive content.
Yeah, something Ben's been doing in his business endeavors, if you
Yes.
will. But yeah, so we had to recollect ourselves from that. But but we are. I think about it now and I just can't stop laughing.
I li-
Okay. We're here.
I don't like so the thing is like I literally was like I was like this is this and he was like no and it
No,
turns out
it was that.
it was crazy.
Okay.
Um
Regardless, we're back with,
yeah.
like Ben said, do we miss our childhood? A question. Did you decide that right?
I believe I think I was on Twitter and I was looking at some guy play a game like a streamer, I think, and I just don't know why. I just thought about it,
Hmm.
and I thought that was a very, I don't know, I thought that'd be a thing to,
Yeah, I think
talk
it's I think
about.
it's a great topic because I mean, so much of who people become centers around your childhood
Hmm.
and like how you were raised.
Yeah.
Um, and I don't know, let's start out by talking about like what was your childhood like? Like with the home you grew up in, the school you went to. I mean, a
You
lot of it's
too.
gonna be the same, but
Yeah, boy.
the school we went to, I
Mm.
don't know, things we did as a kid, like what we did for fun or
Um, so I think it was different. Mine's different from yours because I had siblings and stuff, and you didn't.
yeah.
But usually, right?
Which, if you wanted to hear more about that, go listen to our siblings versus only child
Yeah.
episode.
So I was cutting a friend of mine, I was cutting his hair this morning, and he was asking me these questions that I've already answered on this episode, these series of things that
Hmm.
I do online with Tyler. And he was like, he's asking me these questions. I was like, I already answered that. Well, you should just go listen to it.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, I don't know. I went to school, and I didn't really do much outside. I didn't do much for the school. Like in like grade school, I didn't really do anything other than go to
Yeah, I think
classes.
I think strictly for this episode, it's important. So, as you may know, Ben and I, we've gone to school for 14 years together. Yeah, it's 14, right?
How old am I? Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so it's 7 years. So we were in kindergarten through sixth grade together because our grade school went up to sixth
Yeah.
grade, and then our high school, they had the junior high within the school, which is seventh and
Yeah.
eighth, and then ninth and tenth. So for this episode, we're strictly talking about like sixth grade and below for our
Yeah.
childhood.
So I don't know, I didn't really make that many friends. I knew a lot of you guys. I hung out
It
at
was,
school,
yeah, I
but
mean,
like,
we became like closer when Jacob Cordova came to the school.
yeah, I think, yeah, I remember that.
Jacob Cordova, I don't think you're listening. I follow you on Visco.
He works at the mall.
Does he? Where?
Well, actually, I don't know if he works at the mall. I see him a lot. Do you know how like they have like the mall attractions in the middle of the mall?
Oh, wait, yeah, he works like the Santa. Yeah, I've seen
Yeah, so he
pictures.
works like
Yeah,
the Santa stuff and like the Easter Bunny stuff and like
yeah.
that little train that
It
goes
goes
around.
around. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know if you guys have that at your mall, but we do.
yeah,
He does that.
yeah.
Um,
But I think he was a big reason that I kind of started having more of like interactions with you.
um, yeah, I think that the friend group that I have now of high school really came to be in like high school,
Hmm. Yeah,
like freshman or sophomore year. I don't really know why. We didn't like, if you think about it, all of us kind of knew each other beforehand. No one really, other than like Seebeck, is like new that no
hmm.
one knew before.
It was
Yeah.
interesting how because like I think a lot of it stemmed from what we did for the school, which you mentioned for grade school, you didn't do a lot for the
Oh yeah,
school,
no.
which maybe that's why we weren't really there wasn't much to do for the school, but maybe that's why we
That's
weren't
true.
as like there wasn't a friend group because once we got into high school and we had like Colombian Squires or just like setting
Mhm.
up for different events, like it was always our group that was
Yeah.
doing it. And none of us ever had a problem with doing any of it, but we're all
I don't know
so
about
different.
that.
Okay, well maybe
I did a
yeah.
lot of stupid stuff
You
that I
still
didn't
did
wanna
it, that's
do.
the point.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like I don't think any of us like I mean, we're all like similar in different ways, but like we're all very, very different people,
Yes, we
which
are.
like is a good thing, but like it's I look back and I'm like, yeah, like it's interesting how we were all part of the same group, but like in maybe a bigger high school, I don't know if we would have really interacted
Uh,
that much at least because
I don't
like
know, yeah.
I think those events brought us together, which
Yeah.
yeah. But anyway, that's kind of a tangent, I guess.
So basically what I did is I went home on the bus and then I took the bus home and then I take a shower, go play on my DS
Yeah.
until I had to go to bed, do it all over again. Yeah. That's exactly what I did. Watch TV.
Yeah.
That's it. I didn't,
See,
yeah,
I
that's
think
literally
my
it.
experience was a little bit different. Um, I mean, you know, went home after, but oftentimes because both my parents at that point
Oh
in my
yeah.
life, they worked. My
Hmm.
mom worked in an office, and then my dad, he worked for a packaging company. He also ran his own business, which he has
Yeah.
now, but before he left that packaging company, he like worked also on his business. And then eventually he had enough money to, you know, just sustain the business because it got so big where he then quit his job at Stretch Pack.
Hmm.
And he was constantly going on trips to different cities and he'd go up to Johnstown and I
Yeah.
remember and it's cool like he'd like stop at like I don't know, a toy store up there and like
Ah,
bring me like a transformer or something,
yeah.
right? So I don't know when the agreement came to be, but it was that my mom's mother, my grandmother,
Hmm.
would watch me Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and she just like stayed at our house and watched
Hmm.
me and picked me up from school and we go out to eat and if I had to, go shopping with her. And then my dad's parents, my grandparents, would watch me from Thursday to Friday, and we'd like go out to dinner and I'd be at their house and stuff. And they live, literally really close from me. So
Yeah.
I spent like a lot of time with them, which I now look back on, and I'm like, wow, that was like the best ever. But like I still got to be with my parents too, which was nice, like on the weekends. So it was nice like seeing my whole family
Hmm.
as a child. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think for me, instead of like showering and like going on my DS, it was like I would go home with my grandmother, and then we would stop at like McDonald's and get like
I did,
burgers.
yeah, I knew that, like, growing up, well, actually, I was thinking before I say that, I was thinking about your grandma has been a very, like, when I think of you, I also think of her, like, she's in that realm of you,
Yeah,
because I've known her for, like, a really long time,
yeah,
and I graduated, and she was there, and I was like, "Huh, I'm like, it's been a long time." And, speaking of that, I just remember Tyler be like, "Can you take me to Toys R Us?" She'd be like, "Yeah." And I'd be like, "I wish my parents let me do that,"
yeah.
which was like really nice, growing up. And I was like, "Oh,
I mean, it
that's
was it
cool."
was great. I'd
Yeah,
ask. We'd go to Toys R Us a lot, and
yeah,
I'd price match all the things on my iPad or
mm,
phone or whatever, right? So we'd get good deals and stuff. And sometimes we'd just like walk around, or we'd go to Aldi's or Shop and Save even and grab groceries. But like
yeah,
yeah, she's because she helped out at the cafeteria in my
yeah.
grade school, and which is great because it's funny, a lot of her friends she goes out now with now,
Mm.
she met through that,
Oh,
and like she'll
really?
come to Greensburg and have like lunch with them and stuff,
That's nice.
which
Yeah.
yeah, so I think she was definitely like a big part of my
Hmm.
childhood. Um yeah, that was pretty prominent.
Yeah, would you say that you miss it? Like,
Ooh, the question on the table. Do I miss my childhood? I don't know. I think it's hard because it's like I do miss that simpler time when I
Mhm.
was like, wow, like I really have nothing to worry about in life.
Yeah.
Like the work, I don't remember it being extremely taxing.
Mhm.
If I'm being totally honest, I kind of remember studying more then than I did now.
Mhm.
Um, but I think there's some things I miss, but I think the opportunities are what I don't miss because now
Yeah.
there's so much like I have a job, like the musicals at our school, like they
Mhm.
were so much fun, don't get me wrong, for fourth, fifth, and sixth graders, but
Uh-huh.
like now, like the things I'm doing with musical, it's like it doesn't compare, but like also that simplicity of
Mhm.
like life back then, I think is what I kind of miss. What about you?
I was thinking back when I was in like grade school and stuff, I still remember we had these spelling tests. I'm really bad at spelling. Like
Yeah, yeah, Ben is very bad at
it's
spelling.
subpar. Um, I remember we would have like this book and we would have like to learn 20 some words that we had a spelling test
Because
on.
the class was phonics slash
Spelling,
spelling.
yeah, I hated
Yeah.
that class. And I remember my dad would be ironing my uniform and I'd be sitting like on this desk next to like that closet, walk-in closet while he's ironing my uniform for the next day. Like, I spell this word, write it down. He'd look at it, wrong. And it was like one of those things where it's just like your parents yell at you like what's two plus two, don't know, and then they're like the tears fall down the paper, you can't write anymore. Yeah. Yeah, then my siblings made fun of me. They
It's
still
interesting
do.
because those spelling tests, like I remember going over them with my grandmother,
Hmm.
and she would give
I bet
me,
she was very nice.
I mean, she wanted to make sure like I knew them, and
Yeah.
like thanks to her, I'm very good at spelling now, and like I
Oh.
can, like I remember, I like remember the memory like it was yesterday. Um, I was at like the end of my dining room table, and one of the bonus words, because we had like 3 or 4 bonus words or
Uh-huh.
something,
Yeah.
was eight. And I just couldn't spell it. Was like EIGHT,
Yeah.
like number, and I just couldn't spell it. And I don't remember the goofy clue she gave me, but she gave me like a goofy clue. If you don't know what a goofy clue is, it originates from our teacher at our high school, Mrs. Colton, which I
Oh.
don't know.
I
Some
guess.
of you will know. Mrs. Collin listens. So,
Oh, really?
yeah.
Oh, wow.
I'm pretty sure she does at least. That's what,
And Mr. Hall.
yeah.
Shout out to Mr. Hall.
Yeah. Mr. Hall too, yeah. But maybe Mr. Very. I heard he listens too. He
Actually,
needs to get caught up, I think.
I have a interruption story.
Oh,
So,
please do.
um, since they're talking about graduation, I told you about the graduation for the seniors now at our old high school is would have been yesterday when you listen to this. And one of the speakers is Grant Miller. And I heard so Mr. Hall left,
Yeah.
and I heard that Grant, I was told this is a story I was told Grant was a listen or Grant was had a speech that he was gonna say, and he went up there and was just like, uh, I think he said like Mr. Hall is something along the lines of like Mr. Hall's um an amazing teacher, something I can't say about all the teachers here or something like that in front of everybody, and just
Whoa.
continued to go on. And then I think they made him apologize in an email, and then I was told that teachers were just responding was like, it's okay. Thanks for owning up to your mistake." And then Satsu just goes legendary, sends the email.
That's so funny. Is that real?
Yes. And that's what I was told. And he's speaking tomorrow. Anyway,
Well, I
I
think, well,
don't
you know what? I think actually, just to comment on that, I think that raises a good, like, not every teacher's a good teacher.
know. I could name a lot of good
But
teachers,
like I think,
bad teachers that have worked with me. Yeah.
separating it from the person, maybe they're a good person but a terrible teacher. I know a
Yeah.
few of those, but
But
also like this for some context for you guys listening or watching, like the teachers at our school is what makes it because
yes.
our school, if you took away all those good teachers and
Oh, it would
it
suck.
would be so bad. So it's a shame to see all these teachers leaving our
Hmm.
school because it is truly what makes a school. Like Mr. Merchant, William Merchant, he's now teaching at
He's gone.
Seton LaSalle, and I
Yeah.
actually met somebody in college that knew
Yeah.
him,
Yeah.
and it was a shame because he's doing bigger and better things and getting paid much more money. But
Yeah, probably.
he left, and it was a shame because everybody that went to Central, like you went to Central knowing you were going to have Mr. Merchant your freshman year. Like you
Yeah.
knew like for even visit day. Like he was there for visit day and he was like doing a presentation and you were like, wow, I can't wait to have him. And then all these teachers start to leave and you're like, what is left? Anyways, that's a little tangent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mr. O was such a. I only had him for 1 year,
I
but I had
never
him.
had him.
I had him for four separate things. I had from English, stats, psych, and then I had him for homeroom. He's such a funny guy because
He really
I
is.
sat in the back after class. We finished class like 20 minutes early, like 15 minutes early, and I'd sit there and start watching like soccer, and he started being like, "Oh, you watch that game?" We start talking about that,
Yeah.
and then I played this I played Sporkle, and then he played with me. And then eventually, at the end of the year, he just started putting it on the board. We all started playing as a
Dude,
class.
that's so fun.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't remember what we were talking about
Well, we were
beforehand.
talking about if you miss your childhood.
Oh, if I do?
Yeah.
Um, actually, funny story. I don't know if I ever told you the story. I was away and I walked into the Starbucks and I saw this Asian kid with his dad and he was playing on his phone and I don't know, he just looked really happy and like carefree and his dad was just buying him like Starbucks, and he was just like playing this game on his phone. I kind of just looked at him. I don't really know why, but it made me quite sad. Like it made I don't know. I've thought about it for a while. I don't really
Mm.
know what it why it would invoke such emotion because you would think it doesn't.
Yeah.
And I was kind of shocked about how sad it made me. And
Yeah.
I talked to my siblings about it, and because it made me, I don't know, it maybe it's just the part of growing up where you like miss your childhood. Because I have thought about that too, but I don't really know.
Yeah. I think actually this is a good point to bring this up. It's something that like so one thing about me is that like a lot of people hate kids, but I really don't mind them. Like
Uh,
like screaming crying kids. I guess that's one thing, right?
yeah, you like kids.
Yeah. Don't cancel
Listen
me.
to our Patreon, and you'll find out why that's even funnier.
Um he's joking. Anyways,
Not really, but yeah.
anyways, so the thing is like I there was a point where I was like playing with my cousins one time, right? And we were
Listen to our
sorry,
Patreon and find out.
it's coming out so wrong. I'm sorry. Um, I don't even know what to say. I was watching my cousins, okay?
What were they doing? Why are you laughing? I was just.
Um, and they were, they were doing something, and
Did they
it.
know you were watching them?
You're done.
Okay.
You're done.
Nope.
Um, but yeah, and they were trying to like show me how to play the game and stuff with their toys and stuff,
Uh-huh.
and it was like I I understood what they were doing. Like I understood the story, quotation marks here if you can't see, that they were trying to tell. Because it's like like when you listen to it like when adults listen to a kid, they're like,
Yeah.
I want to da, 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 but
Yeah.
then he goes to this like you travel to the mountain and then it's like the randomest stories,
Yeah.
but like everything they were saying, I like understood. Like their imagination. Maybe it just means I have a big imagination and like I understood what they're trying to
Yeah.
convey.
Uh-huh.
But it's like, I don't know. So I think I have a part of that like childhood still with me where it's like,
Oh yeah, you
I
can.
have my Lego collection, but I also
Yeah.
just like, you know, I keep a part of like
Mm-hmm.
the imagination I had as a kid with
Mm-hmm.
me
Yeah.
today, if that makes any sense. So I think like seeing kids, if anything, it doesn't get me
Doesn't get you. It gets you what?
it doesn't get me like sad missing childhood, but it's like, yeah, like, you know, yeah,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
they're just a kid. I don't know.
Yeah. Speaking of nostalgia, I was thinking, right, what place do you think when you think of like a theme park that
Hmm.
does nostalgia good, what place do you think of?
Kennywood or Idlewild.
Ah, it's not, you weren't supposed to say that.
What was I supposed to say?
No, 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 no. When you no, no, just think like what place does like nostalgia good? Not like not like for you, but like in general. When you think of nostalgia in parks,
In like amusement parks?
just like a park.
Oh, a park.
Not like a nature park, like a park. Like, yeah, so an amusement park.
Um, ooh.
I'm fishing for an answer here. That
You know an answer?
well, I want you to say it so I can then talk about it.
Okay,
But
wait, I don't know actually.
no, so just answer it.
No.
Just say what you think is right. I'll just either way, I'm
Like
going to
a
talk about it.
nostalgia in like an amusement park.
A theme park, and like,
I don't know, dude. Like my answer is definitely not what you think. Because like my answer is like these little alien pops from Kennywood that
no,
used to
no, no,
like
no, wait,
glow in the
wait,
dark
no, no, no. I'm
and they
talking.
like take me back.
No, I'm not talking about an object. I'm talking about the whole thing, like a whole park, not like one single thing in the
Dude, you
park.
just gotta say it. I don't know what you
Okay, anyway, so a lot of people rave about like the nostalgia factor at like Disney World or Disneyland.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that are like have the Disney depression. I don't know what they call it, but it's like
Yeah.
that like sad feeling you get whenever you have to come back when you leave. Like
Uh-huh.
you're like whenever you were young, did you ever come back from like a vacation and just be like sad because that you're like back at your house and you're just like,
Yeah.
well, it was like a weird sad, not like
Yeah, it was
oh,
like
but
I
you're
knew
like
I know I'm gonna go back at some point, but it
yeah,
was like,
it's kind of like that where like people are depressed
yeah.
because they leave Disney. Disney does a good.
See, I was never at Disney when I was a kid.
Oh yeah,
Like I went when I would have been 18. So that was only like a year ago. I went to Disney for the first time.
yeah,
Went to Florida for the first time.
yeah. What if you were like what if you were like 15? Would that be like a big difference? Like 18 and 15?
Oh, if I was 15, I think I would have to be like 10, honestly, to real because like now
Hmm,
it's like I went to Disney, I went to Galaxy's Edge,
that's a good
all
one.
I went to
Yeah.
all the places. That was at Hollywood Studios, right?
No, that's in Epcot.
I didn't go to Epcot. It's not at Epcot.
Galaxy's Edge?
Star
Oh,
Wars,
the
yeah,
start.
yeah.
Yeah, sorry. It is in
Yeah, it's
Hollywood.
Hollywood.
I'm gonna get beat
Um,
later for
but
that.
yeah, I think it's like after. Oh yeah, it's
Yeah,
embarrassing, dude.
I should know. Anyway.
Um, but it's like because I went when I was old, I was like, I went to Galaxy's Edge. I built my droid.
Oh, you been a droid?
Yeah,
Oh, why didn't you tell me that? That's cool.
I'll show you when I get
Oh,
home.
that's
But
sick.
yeah, and it's like, we went to Disney. I rode all the rides you'd want to ride, except Tron Legacy because that wasn't open yet.
Tron, you should, right?
I
Tron
know I
is
want to. But I
it's
think it
pretty
was
sick.
like as an adult, I'm like, yeah, like I did it all,
Mm.
and I don't think I really had an incentive to come back,
Oh, that's fair.
like
Yeah,
maybe if I went with friends, but I think it would definitely make an impact if I was a lot younger.
I see.
Yeah.
So you say Kennywood. Like, I've never been to Kennywood. What?
So, well, you've never been to Kennywood.
No, I don't plan on it.
Interesting. Okay, so
Yeah.
for those of you context, Kennywood is located in West Mifflin, Pennsylvania, which is 20 minutes outside the city of Pittsburgh.
Yeah, if you're flying, I actually saw it one time coming
Really?
down from a plane. I saw it. It was just
Oh,
it's
okay.
by the river.
Yeah, it's right by the
Yeah,
river.
it's very it's a like
Yeah,
yeah.
it's very historic. Like George Washington led his troop through the park at one point. Like not through the
Really?
park. It was like probably before the park was built.
Yeah,
There's like a statue about how George Washington. Oh
probably before it was
yeah.
built.
Okay,
What?
well, Kennywood's going on like 120. I think it's over 125 years old.
Oh wow.
I want to say it's I feel like the 125th anniversary was in. Actually, let me look it up. I feel like it's going on 130.
Um,
How old is Kennywood Park?
people rave about Kennywood.
1898. So unfortunately, that would have been after George Washington, but still 1898.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Yeah. So
Oh wow.
127 years. Yeah. Wait, no. 126. Um,
Jeez.
so yeah, it's a great park, great amusement park. I've been going there like literally since I was 2 years old.
Mm-hmm.
My grandmother lives in West Mifflin, so she lives 5 minutes from there. So, it was a big draw to me and even my family. And a lot of our friend group, yeah, that's when our friend group really started being formed on, if I'm being honest, I think.
I wasn't there. I
No,
don't
you
know.
weren't. It was the summer, like after eighth grade. Um
Some friends, huh?
summer the summer after eighth grade, it was like I went with John a good bit because we both had passes.
Mhm.
But then Thomas started coming, Carlos started coming, Bill started coming.
Sort of what? What?
What?
Um,
Yeah, and there's a way. I'll try to find the cool picture,
yeah, I
but
wasn't there. What did I do? Yeah, I don't really know what I did like 8th grade year, huh?
you know what? I will say just because of like the way I
Mm,
used to feel about Kennywood when I was that age,
yeah,
I absolutely do miss that part of my childhood because that was
yeah, huh.
oh that was a good it was just so fun.
Yeah,
Now it's like I'm worried about getting sick on rides. Not really. I'm really fine, but
maybe I will go. I do like roller
I
coasters.
think we should go at some point this summer. Um,
Yeah, maybe. Uh, yeah.
so here's okay. So for all of you that are listening and not watching, I'm still trying to find the photo. But for those of you that are listening and not watching, there's a ride there called the Phantom's Revenge,
Mm.
previously named this the the Steel Phantom. Sorry, Steel Phantom. And it's a great ride. We rode it 10 times in one day. The line was always super
Oh,
long. The new coaster at the time, I don't think it was
yeah,
built, so that was like always the big main coaster. And we for our 10th, we ended up riding it like 11 or 12 times that day, but for our 10th time, we all held up tens
yeah.
and like got our photo. And then of course I sniped like the thing at the
Who is
photo.
that?
That's Tom.
Oh, who's that? That's
John.
John.
That's me. That's Bill.
That is
So
such
for
a
those of you that
grainy
are watching,
picture.
you get a little bit of a thing. So there's all of us holding up tens.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I do remember you guys talking about how you ate and then went on a roller coaster a bunch and that someone was gonna throw up. I
probably
vaguely,
Tom. Probably Tom.
yeah, I vaguely remember them talking about that, so that makes sense. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, but I think actually I want to do one thing.
Huh.
I want to look up here the definition of nostalgia
Oh,
because I think nostalgia is such an important part of just our journey as people. I saw this, I don't even know what it was, if it was on Instagram or if it was on TikTok, and it was somebody talking about like the power of nostalgia and how like even companies, if they encompass on nostalgia, like they can just rake in the cash.
yeah.
So the definition of nostalgia, a sentimental longing or wistful affection for the past, typically for a period or place with happy personal associations.
Hmm.
Um, One big factor of nostalgia that I kind of think of, and it's I think one of the probably top 10 in my opinion, indicators of nostalgia is I forget the name or how to pronounce it. It's like the Aerofugio.
Well, I don't have no clue what you're talking
You'll
about.
see for those of you listening,
Are
I'm gonna
you?
look it up.
I don't know what that means. What are you trying? What does that mean?
It's a type of wait, no. Um
Well, Tyler is looking this up.
yeah.
I guess I'll try to think of something to say. Um, yeah, I don't. Well, I guess it's yeah. I don't.
Frutiger Arrow. Arrow.
Huh?
Frutiger Arrow.
What does that
Wait,
mean?
arrow. Yeah.
Can I see it?
Yes, you'll understand as soon as I show you. It's this.
That I don't understand.
Like
That.
you know that like the Windows background.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so like in the 2000s, this is like what they like if you can watch on video, it's really
Saturation is pretty bad.
yeah.
I don't
So
know
I'm
if you'll
just gonna
say that.
describe it. So it's like a sunny day with like bubbles floating in the sky or like fish like flying in the sky. And it's like a kind of a Windows 2000
Yeah.
nostalgia I, pattern, font. I don't even know which
It
design.
it looks like so if you imagine okay, so if for a second, if you imagine like a detergent or yeah, a detergent brand where this girl is wearing a white gown and she's frolicking through like a field on a sunny, windy day. It kind of looks like that.
Yeah.
But like plus like the air like bubbles of like water randomly about and
Yeah. Or
minus
like
the lady
splashes of water. Yeah.
and minus the lady in the white, just the field flower like some
With random
sunflowers.
fish around
Yeah,
it.
and there's a dolphin in one of the pictures.
Yeah, yeah. Listen, it's just like maybe some of you have no idea what we're talking about, so look up Fruitiger Arrow. Um, but you'll understand it hopefully when you see it. It's just a big part of like nostalgia and nostalgia trends in general, and it kind of indicates like how our society has progressed to now such a minimalistic style of backgrounds. And
Yeah.
honestly, this is something we talk about in architecture. How like in architecture, there's the TikTok trend. It's like men used to build castles, or
Yeah,
like
I
men
saw
used to
that.
build
Yeah.
this, and they'll show like a church or something, and then they'll show like a very like simple skyscraper, or like a very simple office
Yeah.
building. And it's like, you start to think like everything was a little bit more colorful then. And I think that's something I do miss about my childhood, that
Hmm.
everything was a little bit goofier back then. Everything was a little bit like, I don't know, like not as minimalistic and simple colored things are
Yeah.
now.
Would you say that picture of the fields elicits some sort of like emotion for you? Because to me, that picture just looks like a picture,
Yeah,
and it
it
doesn't
probably
really do anything
does.
for me.
It probably does.
What is?
It probably makes me happier, I think, with the brighter colors, honestly.
Hmm. You're falling for the mass schemes.
Well, honestly, just seeing green in general, like it's proven in studies that like green just like makes you happier. And it's literally because of foliage within nature.
Foliage? Foliage.
It's foliage. It's
Foliage?
foliage. Like
Yeah.
Mirage from Apex Legends.
M
No.
Melage? I don't
No,
know.
no. But
Anyway.
yeah, so it's been proven like nature helps your mental health, nature makes you happier, and it's the
Yeah.
green and the bright colors that, flowers even. Flowers make people happy. But I think it just makes me happier. I
Interesting.
don't know. What's something that's like ringing nostalgia for you when you see it?
When I see it, um, oh God, I don't know.
Like a tangible object maybe, or maybe just a
I'm
photo
gonna
or
have to
something?
think. Oh, would the okay, so this is like something that without a doubt always comes back. It hasn't happened yet, but that type of like weather outside and like the smell, the sound, the temperature, and the sunset
Uh,
that you know it's like summer because it's always been the same because
wait. I know what you're talking
I've
about.
been living here for my whole life. So like that like kind of like that like vibe in the air that you know that it's summer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's kind of like it's kind of like the weather. It's just that type of like sunset and like the
There's a
wind.
TikTok trend that it's like this. So it's like,
Ah, yeah.
yeah. So this is exactly what Ben is talking about. If you go on TikTok, you can search up a calm, sunny summer day in the 2000s, and they'll play like images along with this one sound where it actually has, if you can hear it,
That's an owl.
it's not an owl.
A
And
bird. Yeah, it's a
it's a
bird.
bird.
I figured that out. Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, it'll go and play like just nostalgic photos of like being outside, maybe like a playhouse or something with this sound. And I remember because I always thought that like in the neighborhood though,
Yeah, it was an owl.
it was an owl. Turns out it's like a dove of some sort, like a mourning dove.
Yeah, I remember hearing that. Waking up, I feel like if I wake up at 7 now, I won't hear something like that and I'll
Yeah.
just like not enjoy it. But like waking up
Yeah.
early when I was younger was like strange. It was like you hear that, you watch the news,
I always
which was
remember I really enjoyed waking up early. And then now I'm like,
waking up
oh,
early sucks.
yeah.
It's tough.
But yeah, so I think nostalgia is just a huge driving factor. And I think anytime you present me with any type of nostalgia, I'm immediately gonna be like, yeah, I miss that.
Hmm.
But like I talked about before, like when we talk about like opportunities today, it's like, yeah.
Wow. Well,
You have any other comments to say?
I have a comment that doesn't really pertain to anything, but I think it's funny that I'll say later. But I don't
Listen
know.
to Patreon if you want to hear it. Or
Well,
yeah.
no, no, no. It's not like no. This is like a little funnier and has nothing to do with anything.
Oh,
Um,
okay. Well, follow us on OnlyFans.
no, no, no,
I'm kidding.
no,
We don't have an
no, no,
OnlyFans.
no. Mr. Hall doesn't call in any other Mr. Bear. I don't know what that is. I don't do those things.
What's OnlyFans? Never heard of it. Have you?
Oh, I hope that I don't. I stop talking. I don't know. Um, wow.
Yeah.
All the
So
people, all the parents.
thanks for listening. We're very happy to have you here to our weekly installments every Thursday. Um, I do make sure I always upload on YouTube now. We have every episode from the end of season 2 to the present on YouTube.
Uh-huh.
Listen to us on Spotify, Apple Music. Follow us on Instagram. That's where we do our main updates. And
Oh,
anything else?
let's promote our viewers to what do you call it whenever you like not a strike. What's the opposite? What's a consumer strike? What do you call that?
Like not monetization.
Okay, so do you know okay, I don't know if people know, but like people have been like like hating on Chipotle.
Oh
We
yeah.
should our viewers should hate
Because
Chipotle.
what is Keith Lee is his
Keith
name?
Lee is like a food reviewer. Has a lot. He's kind of like Mr. Monopoly. So like, if he doesn't like it, your business, you
Yeah.
should just close it.
And people have been walking out of Chipotle's mid-order, and Chipotle issued a response, and it was a really bad response saying like, "Oh, our portions are the same," but
Or
or
probably,
like no, they said their portions got bigger,
yeah.
which is just a complete lie. But I think they're gonna do something else here soon because it's getting really bad.
Chipotle, I feel like when I go, the portion sizes are okay, but it's quite expensive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's so good. I really hope they do something. But yeah, that's it. So go boycott Chipotle.
Yeah, remember when they got E. coli and like it was like running through the thing, like, and now we just take it back.
Yeah,
That's just what it.
yeah.
Well,
Thank you for listening slash watching. We will see you next Thursday. And yeah, we
listen to
hope
our Patreon where me and Tyler talk about what happened. Also, a question: does anyone ever text you after we tell them to text or ask us
not
anything?
gonna lie, no, not recently. Not recently. Text Ben. He's right here.
I'm a limited time offer.
Oh.
Yeah.
Go listen to the episode before this if you want to understand that more.
And then
Then don't ask Ben any questions because we have episodes to answer
you don't
every
ask me
question.
any of that.
But yeah, thank you for listening. We hope you maybe pondered about your childhood, maybe got a little nostalgic. Maybe you miss some parts of it as we do.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's it. So thank you for listening. We will see you next week.
Me and Tyler are going to go deal with the rest of this traumatic stuff. All
Yes,
right,
business
peace.
endeavors.
I don't know about that. Peace.